Joining us now with more on these new strains is Dr. Jason Littleton. Dr. Littleton, good morning to you.
Good morning. Hi, Andrea. How are you doing?
Good. We've talked about this before, talking about how viruses change and they mutate. What are we learning about this new strain and its effect?
Well, one of the things that we're learning is that we know that, first of all, viruses mutate all the time. Every time they get into a host and replicate, they can mutate. Some mutations lend to a significant change and some don't. In this case, this UK virus, this variant that we found in September, but we heard about in December, we're finding it. First of all, we think that vaccines are able to protect against it. But again, there's a question mark here. If it continues to mutate, because there's mutations in the spike protein, will there somewhere down the line be able to evade vaccine protection? Well, one of the questions we're trying to find out. What about disinfectants? Will disinfectants still be able to cover things like this? We want to know, will our medications, therapies still be able to approach this in the same way? So far, we think so. But as mutations continue to arise, will it still be the case?
And Dr. Littleton, we know it may be more contagious, this new variant we're talking about, but not necessarily worse or more deadly, correct?
Correct. You know, scientists believe up to 50 to 70% more contagious. And again, this doesn't mean more deadly. Now, if it's more contagious, it is possible that more susceptible people may get it, and it may increase hospitalizations, ICU bed usage, and it could cause severe disease in those who are most susceptible. But right now, we don't believe that this variant is more dangerous, but just more contagious.
And what about some of these companies developing a booster shot to protect against this new strain?
You know, I think that's important. I think as we go down this road, we're going to find that this may be needed as new vaccines come out from different companies. I know Johnson & Johnson's getting ready to come out soon. I think, first of all, booster shots going to be important to boost immunity, but then there may be alterations and changes in vaccines so that we can adjust to some of the variants that are coming up. There are a couple variants that are out there. There's the South African variant. Now we know about a Brazil one. That's not in the United States. But the South African one, there has been a case in South Carolina. So things are changing. We need more genome sequencing and mitigation measures.
Dr. Littleton, you just mentioned Johnson & Johnson. In the last hour, they broke the news its vaccine was proven 66% effective overall. What's the difference with this vaccine, and should people want it if others are more effective?
Well, you know, first of all, this is a one-dose vaccine, and I think that we have to see how it really works in real time, especially with some of these variants. I think that the interesting thing about this vaccine, we have to see how, you know, it plays out as far as the side effects. The fact that it's a one-dose vaccine can make a difference. Also, I think Johnson & Johnson has a wider distribution, and so it might be easier for people to get it, especially in underdeveloped countries. The other thing about this vaccine that I think is pretty interesting is that, you know, with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, it's going to be able to be stored a lot easier. So this makes it easier for people in terms of accessibility. So we'll have to see how this plays out. They're applying for emergency use authorization, and when they get it, we'll have to see how it plays out as far as, you know, again, adverse effects, ease of use, and how it changes the scope as in regards to the efficacy.
Some protection may be better than no protection at all with the percentage of effectiveness here. Dr. Littleton, thank you as always for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Andrea.